Stefan Molly Meme says, Nick, what's going on, big guy? You're spending your time with grifters when you said the character's paramount. Are you referring to Baked Alaska? I assume that's what that's about. A lot of people call Baked Alaska a grifter. I'll just say I'm a very good judge of character. So I'll just say that. Wagey says, to all the nibbas on Nick's grill, for Nick just hanging out with an eccentric straight friend. Yeah, here we go. You guys are reading too much into it and or are homophobes. Shame on you all. Well, there's nothing wrong with being homophobic, but the first part is definitely true.
You remind me of an ex of mine whenever we went out.
Will says, how do you reconcile promoting Catboys with what St. Paul says? Effeminate men go to hell and God forbidding cross-dressing. I don't think I've ever promoted anybody. I think I hung out with a friend of mine, but I don't think I've ever promoted anything. Lucas says, debate Vaush. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about doing it. I saw that he did extend an invitation to me. The only problem is, generally speaking, I don't debate fat people. I generally don't really like to hang out with homosexuals. Prince of Zamunda says, LMAO, World War III, but everybody's talking about Catboys. Yeah, you love to see it, right? We're on the brink of war with Iran, and people are, Nick, you hung out with this guy? John Smith says, Lollipop Socks promotes cartoon pedophilia, worst optics. You know, you just don't get it.
We're joking, Lollipop Socks. We know you don't do all that.
I know. I'm kidding.
Well, we know you don't do that. What do you do?
Drinking or smoking weed, and he beats off the kids. So it's like, imagine.
Lollies, anime lollies, let's not.
Oh, so this guy made a joke about how Lolly Socks beats off to kids, and Lolly Socks goes, whoa, no, not that. Lolly, illustrations, it's not that.
John Smith says, Lollipop Socks promotes cartoon pedophilia, worst optics. You know, you just don't get it.
It's like, imagine.
Lollies, anime lollies, let's not.
You know, you just don't get it. You know, you just don't get it. You know, you just don't get it. Racist Incel says, do you think America's two-party system restricts our ideas from becoming mainstream? Perhaps. I don't really like to think about, whenever people say two-party system, my eyes sort of glaze over because it's just like sort of a useless conversation. You know what I mean? What if America had a multi-party democracy? Probably everything would be different. I don't know what to tell you, right? You could say that you could look at other countries where they have multiple parties, but I would say that in like the United Kingdom, does the multi-party system really allow like our ideas to flourish? America First Jew says, welcome back, King. Sorry about the cringe. Fags on the timeline. True Knickers are ride or die, and we still got your back. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. Well, thanks a lot, big guy. Yeah, I mean, look, you just got to trust the plan. I'm waiting for, look, I'll go off on the Catboy thing in a moment. I'm waiting for a good super chat. I'm waiting for a well-formed question before I launch into it in full. Helios says, I've got an half Asian GF. Is it still cringe or no? Yeah, it's kind of cringe, dude.
Oh, fuck, I should have brought the collar as well. Would that have been too gay for you?
That would have been a little excessive, yeah.
Someone said indirect kiss mode.
What?
Someone said indirect kiss mode. It's like, no, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
What are you talking about?
With the straws.
Oh, yeah. Indirectly kissing. Yeah. Lord Yeetus says, how does anal sex with Catboys win the culture war? It doesn't, but that hasn't happened, so. And this guy's like riding my ass.
Wait, do we have the exact same eye color?
What color are your eyes?
They're like bluish gray or like green or some shit, and then there's like a gold ring around.
I have the gold ring, but
I'm pretty sure our eyes are exactly the same.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Thomas says, God is going to punish you for promoting neocon Middle Eastern policy. Here we go. And associating with cross-dressing degenerates. Okay, well, thank you for the money. But I'm waiting. Look, we have to address the Catboy thing at some point tonight. Everybody's so concerned about it. I was waiting for a good question about it, but I might as well address it. I did a stream with Lolly Socks. He's now known as Catboy Cammy. He changed his name. I advised him to change his name because, lolly socks, not great optics. Frankly, I didn't put my stamp of approval on Catboy Cammy. I was like, it's not really, it's a little, lolly socks, it's hard to be worse than that, but, is that really better, Catboy Cammy? In any case, this guy, if you don't know who he is, he's been on the Weekly Sweat. I did a stream with him last month. He was a D-Live streamer. He would stream 24/7 on D-Live. And he would do these Filthy Frank style lifestyle streams. He was on 24/7. So he had his wall papered over with anime posters. He would go out to anime conventions and other things wearing anime dresses. And he would do IRL lifestyle content. I don't approve of everything anybody I've ever hung out with has ever done, obviously, right? But that is the context. He's based in Red Pill. I caught a couple of his streams, and he watched Greatest Story Never Told. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Damn it, whatever. Well, okay. So he watched a documentary, and I don't approve of that documentary, but you let it slip, right? But, talk about letting things slip. It's things like that slip, not other things. So he was watching a certain 6-hour documentary. I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. He was watching a certain 6-hour documentary. He was red pilling people on HBD, all kinds of things. And I'm like, okay, this guy's based in red pill. And I put in a couple of chats on D-Live, and I said what's the deal with the anime costumes? What's the deal with other things that you're doing? And he said, well, you see, the point of the anime stuff, the point of the getup is because it's funny or it gets attention. It's disarming, and people are not as reactive to certain things if you're wearing a costume. That was the gist of it. I was like, oh, okay. Because at first I had the same reaction. I'm like, here's this guy who's doing weird things. What's the deal with that? How are you based in Red Pill, but you're doing weird things? And he explained it to me.
It's imagine.
Lollies, anime lollies, let's not.
I could turn back time to when I still felt alive. Play in the sunshine instead of watching TV inside. My head hurts all the time. It was never like this in 2009. A decade later, now I cry. I wish I could turn back the time.
Supposed to be a subtle red pill.
Yeah, goody, yeah. But as soon as I slack, I get a knife in the back. So I don't want to run.
Oh, that's a lot better.
You just don't get it. And he came out to the United States to do IRL streams, and we did a stream together last month. Okay, this was 4 weeks ago. And people made a big deal out of it at the time. We did a 10-hour lifestyle stream. We got lunch. We went to an arcade. We did a few things, And at the time, it was a little controversial because this was fresh off the Milo thing. Everyone was everybody was up in arms about the Milo thing. Oh, he's on the Milo show. And then the Lolly Socks thing happened. And everybody gave me a hard time about that. But then it blew over. Then everyone got over it. Whatever. It was a stream. Not a big deal. And then, much more recently, this Vaush guy found it, I guess. He found it, because this is a 4-week-old stream, and everybody saw it, everybody got over it. And then this guy Vaush found it, and he made a video where then he just started lying about what happened. He said that I flew this guy out to the United States, which is not true. He said I put him up at hotel, which is not true. He said that all kinds of other things. He said this guy's a sex worker, which is not true. He said that this streamer is gay, which is not true. The streamer in question, Lolly Socks, Catboy Cammy, is not a homosexual. That's just not true. So if anybody can find any evidence to the contrary on any of these points, feel free to share it.
You remind me of an ex of mine whenever we went out.
Are traps gay? Yeah, traps are gay. I've always maintained traps are gay, of course. You have sex with a man, it's gay. There's no getting around that. Now that said, look, but, for the most part, it's been a lot of lies, exaggeration, misinterpretation by by bad faith actors, by people that are willfully lying. The Vouch guy who made the video where a lot of that has originated is a far left Marxist pedophile. He is homosexual himself. He's obese. He has said that he's in favor of violence against right-wing people. He says, I'm like the most influential neo-Nazi in the Western Hemisphere. And he made a video gloating and lying about this stream. And people are like taking all that at face value and saying, Nick, care to explain this? Care to explain this? So I don't know. I think I've addressed most of the contentions there, but it's really not. You know, when people say, Nick, I trust the plan, but don't say you trust the plan, but you must trust the plan. If we can't survive things like this, it's never going to work. ET says chipping in, or that's EJT, chipping in for some conversion therapy in case you feel it's needed. Oh, thanks a lot. Let's see. Right, and people want to make, but this is a big deal. This is why you have to trust the plan. Don't believe everything you hear and see on the internet. So that's my clarification. The guy's totally based and red-pilled. He's not gay. I'm not gay. You know, nothing happened. People watched the stream, and, you know, a stream where we, like, play arcade games, and Vouch is like, well, look, in this picture, Nick looks at him, and they're laughing. Oh, yeah, well. He goes, well, I guess that's a date then. Look, they're laughing at each other the whole time. Oh, yeah, a couple of guys hanging out.
You know the reason why that's this idea that's been brought into the zeitgeist, right? It's to stop men from making relationships because we're dangerous when we're together.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you give your friend a hug, oh, gay.
Yeah.
Oh, you go
kiss
out.
your friend on the lip. Oh, gay.
Oh, you have a shower with your friend, gay.
Bro.
They're afraid of us reverting back to traditionalism, and
They don't want us to return to tradition.
return to the Greco-Roman natural order of
Yeah. Greco-Roman moment.
Well, it must be a date, right? But let's see. So that's the. Some people were confused. I posted about this on Twitter. I'm probably blowing it way out of proportion, but a very dedicated and persistent group of people who I imagine are not good faith actors have been pushing this hard on social media. But it is important to clarify for the record. It's important to clarify for the record if there are people that do support me that are confused or whatever. It's important to correct the record, make sure everybody's on board. I would not be promoting somebody who is a homosexual. He is not a homosexual. You know, you could ask him. You could go to his Twitter timeline. Anybody who watches his streams know this too, by the way. You know, we've been hanging out for the past couple of weeks, and it's like this guy's like a chat. He slays femoids, you know? So it's not like what people are portraying it to be. So
It's like, you know, imagine.
lollies, anime lollies. Let's not.
Jim says, imagine pagans and atheists lecturing us about sexual morality. Yeah, right. Well, it's a lot of the bat people. A lot of the bat people are like, oh, see? It's literally all gay people are now turning around and saying, you called us gay, but now we're calling you gay. Okay, fag, like, still not gay, and you're still going to hell. But that's literally Vouch, the BAP crew, all these guys. They're all the people peddling this are gay themselves. They're saying, Nick called us fags, and turns out nothing. Turns out you're still going to hell, and I'm still based. And Lolly Socks to Chad, who F's girls, and you're still going to hell. So,
yes, a man and his Catboy. What's not to love? Romantic night walk, full moon, streetlights. The Catboy leans in for a kiss and.
what does it say?
Something about Catboys leaning in for a kiss.
Catboy kiss moment? Platonic Catboy kiss moment? Look, if it's platonic, what's even the big deal?
You were complaining about gay rumors the other day. It's your own fault, mate.
But honestly, it's like political correctness is just so out of control these days. You can't joke about anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Minnesota Groiper says the whole Lolly Socks Catboy controversy is a bread tube psyop that seems to have fooled some people supposedly in the movement. This is a classic Marxist subversion tactic designed to divide us. Yeah, I think that's totally legitimate. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work because I'm smarter than they are.
You remind me of an ex of mine. whenever we went out. Supposed to be a subtle red pill.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you give your friend a hug. Oh, gay.
Yeah.
Oh, you
kiss
go
your
out.
friend on the lip. Oh, gay.
Super says, please address the Catboy question. I did that. Catboys are based, always have been. I love that this was the thing that they decided to go after me about. I've joked about, like, Gamer Girl P. I've joked about, like, all kinds of weird things. A lot of weird tummy, like, a lot of weird things on the show. Other things. And nobody gets on my case, but you do 1,000 episodes of America First, and nobody says you're a podcaster. You hang out with one Catboy, and all of a sudden...
Do not ignore me. Nick Fuentes belly mode now.
No, I'm not showing you my belly. My belly's not even, it's not even like a cute tummy. It's like a hairy belly. Belly check? Yeah, when you start eating... Look, I'm not like gonna get fat anytime soon. It's just not a good metabolism, but I do get a little bit of a belly. Nah, because of all the fast food I eat. I love women. Do you believe me? I love...
I'm bigger than
Who's the other
Milo.
twink? Milo's not a twink. Milo's
I'm
34
bigger
years
than
old.
Nick and Milo.
Yeah, but you are kind of twinkish. Let's get real.
What the fuck? How?
Like, you're, what? Young and
But I'm not lanky.
relatively
I'm not thin.
hairless.
Yeah, but I'm not thin. I'm muscular.
Well,
So I'm not a twink.
but you're not like a bodybuilder. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade your way, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. You really don't see it? Matt says, Nick, you can't call out Kirk for promoting based fags. You do the exact same thing with Milo and Lolly Socks. But that's literally not what's happening. You know, Charlie Kirk goes on a college tour, and he says there's nothing wrong with being a gay conservative. Charlie Kirk says that. He has people on stage that say that. You go to his booth at Turning Point USA, and they've got stickers that have a AR-15 and a rainbow flag. Okay? They're actively promoting homosexuality and normalizing it. That is contrasted with me, where I went on Milo's stream and said to his face, you know, being gay is degenerate, and I don't believe in that. Going on his platform, not inviting him onto mine. In the case of Lolly Socks, you know, he's not even a homosexual. So I've heard a lot of people making that argument. You're no better than Charlie Kirk. Oh yeah, except it's completely different. And I heard all that during the Milo thing. You need to reflect on why you're a fucking retard, okay? And why all that's like doesn't even make any sense. It's a non sequitur. Henry Yeats with a big super chat. Thanks a lot. He says, a lot of new people, listen, 2 or 3 years ago, we all decided here at Nicker Nation that the massages from Catboys is not and never will be gay. Trust the plan. Okay, I think we should say, it's important to clarify that that's not the official, it's not the unironic position, but it is true. Trust the plan. Glass half empty says there's video evidence of your Chad friend sucking a black dildo on pole. LOL, bruh. Maybe you didn't know. Well, if we want to get technical, he wasn't sucking on it. He had a straw coming out of it. Which, I don't, by the way, I don't avow dildos, okay? I don't avow everything he's ever done, but if we want to get into the weeds and get technical about it, in fairness, I did ask him about it months and months ago, and he said, oh no, this is a prop. This is to be funny. When people say sucking on, I don't want to, it sounds very degenerate. When you get into the weeds of it, it's like, this is a family show. But, look, we want to go there, let's go there. When people say sucking on, they're implying that he's like filleting it, that it's like performing fellatio on it, which is not what's happening, okay? And I know that's not, don't get me wrong, that's not like that doesn't make it much better, but it is different. You do understand that it is different, right? It's not better, but, using it as a prop, as a straw, and, it's being a prop, it is a joke, that is different than doing like a sexual camboy thing. Do you know what I'm getting at here? So, don't get me wrong, I've told him straight up on many occasions, like, that's gay and retarded and cringe, and you shouldn't do that. But, it went from, what? Nick is dating him to Nick is associating with a guy who one time took a lewd picture. Like, do you understand how the goalposts have shifted then? It's like Vaush was claiming that he was a sex worker who I flew out here to have sex with, presumably. Well, that's all lies. So now the goalposts have shifted to, oh, well, you are aware that you hung out with somebody who posted a lewd picture one time. Oh, okay, well, lock me up, right? arrest me. I know that is really a big deal. I hung out with a guy who took a picture. You know, no, it was a regrettable picture, but I mean, let's get real. Well, let's have a sense of proportion about these things. So, and you can ask him about that. I'm not trying to defend believe me, the anime thing, obviously not my thing. I don't get into anime much on this show or anywhere else, really, but, let's be real. But I'm still disavowing it. I'm just saying we just have to have a little nuance, all right? It's just a different times, all right? Different times, different circumstance.